You've probably already heard about the fact that children are able to learn languages better than adults do. Moreover, without any difficulty, just playing and messing around with friends. There are even people who go to extremes, claiming that when you reach, say, 30 years old, you're not able anymore to learn a foreign language in an effective way, which is a ridiculous lie. But the truth is that children do learn languages faster and easier than adults. Today we're not going to go deeper into psychology, trying to understand why that happens. I thought I'd better give you some of my personal tips and advice on how to learn languages effectively, being adults. First of all, welcome if it's your first time on my channel, which is all about language learning, reading, and other related topics. My name is Yulia, very glad to see you here. So coming straight to the topic, the first question that comes to our mind is, when and how do I find time to learn a foreign language? Adult life is full of everything. Someone has a full-time job, others have families, we have to take care about health, and other issues. There are so many essential things going on in our lives that usually language learning seems so inessential and so insignificant. But there's one thing I can assure you. If you're already thinking about picking up a foreign language to learn, know you're in the right direction, you're in the right path. You already have a wish to do it. Now the most important and unfortunately, the most difficult thing is to start. Of course, very often and unfortunately again, such thoughts and dreams of speaking foreign languages remain unfulfilled. I, as a teacher, see it from time to time how adults quit on learning foreign languages, making up excuses of different kinds. I don't have time, I have to do this, I have to do that. I do understand that situations may be different in our lives, but most of the time it's just excuses. Believe me, you can always find a couple of hours in a week to dedicate to the foreign language you choose. Think about these hours of study as the time you dedicate to yourself. Give to yourself these 2-3 hours per week. Or even, 1 hour per week, it's better than nothing. Give these hours to your mind. Give them to yourself. Think about your language study hours as your resting time. Yes, resting time, I didn't make a mistake. The way you studied at school is not the same as you can study now. Now it can surprisingly bring you much more joy and satisfaction. One day you decide to dedicate 1 hour of language learning instead of watching TV or scrolling down on your phone. Trust me, your brain will thank you so much. Not even necessary to hire a tutor if, for example, you can't afford it. You're totally able to do it on your own. In one of my previous videos, I showed you how to do it. Watch it later, don't forget. The second question that often comes up is, will I even be able to learn a language thinking about the age? I honestly have no idea where that misconception about the age and language learning came from. I'll keep it short here. You are able to learn a foreign language if you're 25, 30, 50 or 70 years old. We are not getting less intelligent as years pass by. We don't lose the ability to learn new things either. So the excuse "I'm too old for it" is out, as well as the "I don't have time." Alright? When we're talking about language learning as adults, there's actually an awesome advantage we have. We possess such a great ability and possibility to mix, to connect our hobbies and even our careers to learning languages. This is, of course, something that will come in handy for those of you who are in the middle of language learning process. The thing is that the older we get, the more we understand about what we like doing in our free time, what we like watching and reading. So what I recommend you to do is to connect all of that with the language you're trying to master. For example, you like history. Why don't you read or watch something about history in your target language? Or else you're into science, astronomy, chemistry, baking, I don't know, whatever, anything. Anything is possible to connect to language learning. If you don't have any major hobby, it's never too late to pick up one. And what exactly can help you do that is, apart from YouTube, a large number of websites that offer free online courses. You might have already heard about such a thing as Coursera. I myself also enjoy edX. Such websites let you choose a course of any topic in any field you're interested in and give you a good course. There's a really wide range of subjects. I like taking courses about writing and literature. I'm sure you will find something you personally love. These websites I've mentioned are great for those of you who learn English, but if your target language is different, no worries, there's something. Just Google best websites to take free online courses, and I'm sure something will come up. So you get it, right? The advantage that now we have is that we can learn languages in a fun way by connecting it to our hobbies. And as you progress in learning, it will be getting more and more interesting for you. I mean, even if you're very busy, there are days when you don't have much to do and you decide to occupy yourself with something you love doing, baking or cooking, for example. Just imagine how many recipes you will be able to learn with a new language. It will work this way with any hobby, trust me. The last thing I'd like to mention today is the pitfall that many beginner students are often caught up by. It's that they expect to see results so fast, which is so wrong. Being adults, we often think that there's no such a thing left for us, that we can't learn, believing that when we were kids we learned pretty much everything, which is not really like this. Let yourself learn and don't dwell on your progress. The last things you need to worry about are your progress and your results. As we have already seen today, the main key to learning languages being adults is to learn for pleasure and gift, so to speak, those study hours to ourselves. The less your thoughts revolve around your progress and your results, the more progress you will get. Of course, everything will depend on how much time you dedicate to your target language a week. In any case, don't expect, and more importantly, don't pressure yourself to see great results, be able to speak freely and understand most of what you listen to in the language you're trying to master in a month or two. Learning and mastering a language is a complex process that takes time. Remember that every language is like a little world on its own, so dive into this world, enjoy the process, and forget about your progress. Give yourself at least half a year to feel the language, learn the basics very well, and only then you'll start to notice your first results. So what we can say now to sum it all up is, firstly, stop believing in and simply forget about such a misconception as you're able to learn languages only when you're a kid. No. Growing up, we keep on developing our skills of learning, everything apart from languages too. As we grow older, we don't get silly or something. So being adults reaching a certain age, we are still able to learn a foreign language. Secondly, love the language you're learning, and it will love you back. Dive into the world of your target language. Enjoy the process of studying, the process of learning, which is not obligatory anymore. It's not how it used to be when you were at school. Now you can study, you can learn whenever you want to, whenever you feel like you're in the right mood for it. And like with everything we do for pleasure, forget about the progress and the results. Forget about pressuring yourself, thinking too much about whether you're making progress or not. And lastly, the thing that you simply cannot miss out on if you're learning or just thinking to start learning a foreign language is to subscribe to my channel and click the bell button to make sure you don't miss any new video. Remember to check out my website as well and support my channel if you'd love to by receiving extra monthly content which is all about language learning and reading. Thank you for being here today with me, and see you as always in the next video.